Hey everybody, Danny Mod here. Thanks for joining us. I've just come off a lesson with Tony, who got himself into a fantastic backswing position, but from there kind of spoiled it and stopped himself consistently hitting great strikes and was huge, had a lot of power leaks going down into the impact area. Now the reason being is from the top of his backswing, he wasn't creating a platform for power. Now whether you're a senior golfer or a junior golfer, everybody has the ability and should have this natural ability to create a platform for power. Can you imagine, for instance, when you throw a ball or toss a ball, whether you're left-handed playing golf, right-handed and you're tossing a ball, you have a platform to throw from. Whether it's this way or this way, you're always creating that platform to throw from. In this week's training, I'm going to share with you exactly what we did. Now, at the start of the lesson with Tony, I didn't get it right, actually. I tried a couple of exercises, they didn't work until I gave him the platform for power exercise, and then it completely transformed it. That's what I'm going to share with you in this week's training. Before I do that, if you're new to the channel and this is one of your first videos, consider subscribing. Press that little bell button next to the subscribe button and you get notified every time I release a video just like this one. So, platform for power, why is it important? Well, I've already given you a brief introduction. Basically, what was happening was when Tony was playing and he got himself into a great backswing position here, but then what happened is as soon as he started the downswing, his weight moved into the toes of his foot. And suddenly that initial movement means now at that stage he has no platform to hit from. So what he has to rely on is good hand and eye coordination, which he did have, by the way. So he could hit some pretty good shots sometimes, but wasn't getting the consistency. Now, you might not get your weight moving to the front parts of onto your toes as you start the backswing, but you might be one of the guys who kind of floats back here a little bit. So suddenly imagine this. We want to kind of create this platform, but instead what happens, we move over here. Now again, the weight's in the wrong position. We don't really have a platform, and therefore we're having to kind of almost self-correct, manipulate it, use hand and eye coordination, which is never consistent long term. So the platform for power, what is it supposed to feel like? What's happening? Right, now, here's the key. Let me start by showing you where Tony was and where you should be before we even work on this exercise. Tony was in a great position at the top of the backswing. He got into the top of the backswing here. His weight was in his trail foot. My foot is my right foot here, is in his trail foot here, into the heel of that foot. At the top of the backswing, his weight was also then in the front part of the left foot. So what we had was a diagonal force like this, running from the toe to the heel. He's now set up. I want you actually pause this for a second. If you want to try this, go and try this right now. Just get a sense, swing to the top and ask yourself, is your weight in your heel of your right and the front part of your left? If it isn't, or it isn't, it kind of feels a bit weird, go and have a look at this video first. I released it last week, it will really, really help. Do that first. Once you've done that, come back and then watch this one. But if you're one of those people who've got it, you're in the heel of the right foot here, you've got the weight on the front part of your left, now you're ready. Now from this position, all we want to do is get the sensation that that pressure increases downwards before we then follow through. Now watch this from this angle. If for those of you who come over the top and maybe slice the ball a little bit here, this is a brilliant, brilliant exercise and a great feel, because there's one thing understanding, Tony understood, and maybe you do, you maybe understand what you need to do, but transferring that to feeling can be a bit strange, can't it? And also a bit tricky. So I'm going to give you a little exercise in a second, but for now, just trying to show you what happens. We swing to the top, the weight's in the heel of the right, the front part of the left. And watch this, if we push, we're feeling an increasing down force in the heel and the front bit, we get the club now much more here. Those people who slice generally get very quickly their weight moving straight away onto the front part of their foot. That gets them over the top and cutting across. So just this one feeling of maybe pushing into the heel of your right foot will make a massive difference for those of you who slice. Now, just for a second, I wanted to pause for a moment. to increase the feel of this. Now, I know you're probably watching this at home right now, so what I want you to do, go and grab yourself a couple of pairs of socks. I've seen this exercise done with a tennis ball sliced in half, but you probably won't have that in your house. So grab a couple of pairs of socks, and what I want you to do is put one pair under the front part of your lead foot, your left foot, if you're right-handers, and the other pair under the heel of your right foot. Now, what this will do is it'll give you that lovely sensation of, that's my front part and that's my back part. Now what you do, make the swing and feel that now you've got that sensation that you're pushing into the sock on the right and the sock on the left. Now from here, get that sensation again of increasing that pressure on both parts. Now what you'll do with this is it will really enhance that, and that's the main thing. If you can't experience what I'm talking about, it's just words. I mean, you've got like less than half a second to hit a ball from here to here. You can't think of this thing. You have to develop a feel for this. So you get yourself set, push into the heel and the front part of that foot. Get that sensation. Now, with Tony, clearly, he couldn't kind of do a normal swing backwards and forwards and think about all that stuff. It's way too complicated, and you'd be the same. So what you do is you can chuck a ball down, sometimes peg it up to make it a little bit easier. I'll peg this up just to kind of make it a bit easier. I'm also just using A-time, but I'm going to show you with driver in a second too. So make it nice and easy. Get yourself set. Put the sock under the lead foot, a sock under the trail foot here. So now you can feel it. And what you do, just swing back here and make sure you can feel both of those feelings there. Now all you do is this. Get that sensation pushing into the heel of the right and the front of the left. It's like a spring, right? Now all you're gonna do there, you feel that motion, and then from there, feel it, and away we go. Now you might be asking, what do you do once you've done that? Once you've got the sensation of squeezing it, all that happens now, I've actually got my left foot up in the air, heel up in the air to make this easier. All I do now is just push my weight straight back into my heel. Once I've got into that, push it straight back into the heel. That creates the arc to help me then come through the shot. Now, if you're a senior golfer, you might be going, I can't do up and down, my legs don't have the flexibility, I can't rotate and all those things. That's fine. The key is you can create the platform, and maybe you don't have the flexibility to go as low as some of the younger guys, and maybe you don't have the ability to open up like some of the younger guys. That's fine. Do the very best you can. It will really, really help your consistency and your power. So let's have another look at that in action. So we're getting ourselves set. We're going to push now into the front part of the front, left foot, heel of the right. Get that sensation. Now you must stop at this position. You need to give yourself time for the brain to engage and experience this motion. So I'm feeling it here. I'm pushing into the heel. Right, now I've got that sensation. All I'm going to do now is move myself back into the heel on my left. That finishes the arc off, and away we go. So one, pushing down, and away we go. This is so important. It will give you an incredible feel. I want you to imagine, I've just nicked my daughter's mini skateboard. If you're not stable, you don't form this platform, I want you to imagine this. Could I play golf from this position? Unstable positions, I can't do that. It's not going to be possible. I might even try to play golf from here. It's going to be very difficult. So create the stability first, and then off you go. Now, let's move it out to the ground now. I'm going to move those away, those socks away. I'm going to start to kind of build this up again. So we get ourselves set. We're going to feel that position there. We're going to pause, feel it in the heel, and we're going to start slow. Now, as you get more comfortable with this, all I want you to do now is build up the speed and the explosion. There's a recent stat, I think done by MyTPI, check them out, they've got some incredible stuff in there, where they said, look, the most powerful people have the greatest vertical jump. So they're able to jump higher. So that ability there shows you the power of using the ground correctly. So have a look at this. What I want you to do now is this. This will be linked to your age and flexibility, but you get yourself set, push into the front part of your lead foot. Keep that heel down, push down, and then gradually from here, just move that left heel back. And away we go. Look at how I got ball turf strike there. It's also a natural byproduct of this, but build it up slowly. Develop a feel for this. So look at it from this angle. When you're here, look at this motion. I'm into the heel there, I'm on the front part. Now watch this. As I push into that heel downwards, like a spring compressing here, look how that naturally, such a different move to somebody who in a sense becomes unstable. You've got no platform. Also, that's where you're gonna get the over top with your slice. This is what you might do. You might push this way and get the hook, but you're gonna get that pushing down into the heel and the front part of that lead foot. From there, all you're gonna do is move the heel. I've got more details of this. Again, I'll put it up in this top right hand corner, which goes into this simple motion. But for now, this is the power move. This is the platform for power. Again, don't be in a hurry. Peg a few balls up to start with, make life easier. All you're trying to do is develop a feel for this. You can do this indoors as well, just to generate the motion. But we definitely must get ourselves set up here. Pause, feel that pressure in, and then just simply, once you feel it there, one, I'm feeling that motion, and then I'm gonna move the heel back. Down, and hey presto, that is that, okay? Let's have a look once with the driver. All I'm gonna do here, again, I'm not gonna do any real big shots here, actually, because I don't really wanna kill anybody over there on the far side of the driving range, but nothing changes. What's happening here is simply this. We're moving into the heel here, we're pushing down, and as we then, from this position here, you get that sensation, all you're gonna do is move that heel back into here, and then that natural motion here, you then create the jump as well, nice and slowly. Feel it in the heel and the toe, then all I'm gonna do here, feel that motion there, and then just away we go. Now, clearly, start slowly on this, but eventually, just like, now all this might sound, sometimes it will, can I think about this? No, you can't. It is a feeling, but watch this. If I'm throwing a ball, okay, right-handed, this is the situation I'd have. I'd have already my weight on the front part of my toe and the weight in the heel. That's my platform to launch from, so you can already do this. If you play golf right-handed but left-handed, you do the same if you're throwing a frisbee. You're still here, that's what you do. You'd also get the jump and the rotation more naturally. So you've already got this inside of you. I'm just trying to, I suppose, increase the feel, bring it out, help you learn that feeling. So in summary, what we've got to do, what you've got to do is you've got to build that platform for power. What is it? It's a diagonal platform. It is from here, when you're up to the top of the backswing, the weight is in the heel and the weight is in the front part of that foot. It's a diagonal platform. It's not here. Then all you're doing is simply lowering that platform here. The lowering is important. That's the pressure like you would do if you were throwing. And then obviously you then finish the arc off by lowering your lead heel and firing through. All natural, but you've got to develop the feel. Cut a tennis ball in half, use some socks, whatever it takes to enhance the feel under those feet, and you'll get some real benefit with this. Look, if you've got any questions on the matter, look, leave them in the comments box below. I'm more than happy to answer them. And look, if you feel that somebody out there could benefit from a few extra yards, please share it. And look, if you enjoyed the video, and this is one of your first ones from me, press that subscribe button and the bell, and I'll see you next week. But until next week, have a great golfing week.